giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm and Boston Scientific, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. And, of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! It's Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about these rookies. Dallas is 6-2, and the rookie class has played a part. So we're going to dive into every single last one of them. Yep. We won't spend as much time on everyone, but we'll talk about how these guys contributed, see if they met expectations, didn't meet expectations, or exceeded expectations. And then in the roundup, Mike McCarthy spoke about Odell Beckham. Gotta talk about that. And the Cowboys get back a few other players heading into this matchup against, can we call him that bad man? A-Rod? Is he that bad man, or is he just that bad, man? That was too easy. I'm sorry. That was too easy. So we'll talk about who the Cowboys will get back in that return. We won't really go all in today on the matchup until tomorrow. We'll talk about the Packers, I believe, defense against our offense. So today is about the rookies and shining some light on these guys that deserve to get some light shined on them. Now, all the light ain't good. Not all the light is going to be that bright light, congratulating them for a good start to their year. We keep it real on this channel, so we're going to keep it real about this rookie class, Cowboys Nation. Indeed. What's good, Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad!
Smoking that watermelon. So, Stephen White, are you saying we're going to roll out the watermelon for this game? Mike is ready. Mike spoke yesterday, and I was going to do a first word today on Mike McCarthy, but I couldn't do it justice with just one clip. So I recommend you guys go watch the whole thing, man. Just something about Mike McCarthy from a leader standpoint that I just dig, I really do. And I think you start to see his leadership, his leadership take hold early in the season, even though he's not calling plays, right? So, Mike McCarthy is class. I was going to say he's class, Stephen White, but he said Mike's melon class. He is a class act. Got a little emotional yesterday talking about his return to Green Bay. And then you heard Daron Curse talk about how, they want to win this one for Mike. This one's for you. That's for John Elway. I'm a little historian. I know my stuff. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, this is a big one for Mike McCarthy, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But today, let's dive in on these rookies, Cowboys Nation. And if you want to call into the show, you can at 351-999-3787. It's also scrolling down there in the DFW Turf ticker. Again, 351-999-3787. DFW Turf ticker, the number one artificial turf in the DFW area. And that's the thing, Toxic. I think, I don't know if it's surgery, snip, snap, snip, snap. Feels like he's kind of not unsullied no more. And that's the clean version of it. We try to make this a family show as much as possible, unless you're into the chat. Grayson, I hope you're not watching, but we appreciate you, Grayson. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's unsullied anymore. But I don't think you could argue that he wasn't unsullied, because it felt like he was at the start of this whole thing, especially given the offensive coordinator situation. But oh, man. Snip, snap, snip, snap. All right, let's get into this roundup, y'all, and talk about these rookies.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, they do it. Hey, oh, they do it.
Hey, yo. I saw a stat go up yesterday that was very interesting. Well, last night, really, during that Ravens game. 2nd and 10 rush rate. Why is this important? I can give you a little tell on certain things. Here in Cowboys Nation, we, for years, under Jason Garrett, used to get so annoyed knowing exactly when the Cowboys are going to run. I would love to know what the Cowboys' rush rate percentage was under Jason Garrett on 2nd and 10. After an incompletion. 2nd and 10 after an incompletion. The Cowboys rank 8th highest rush rate in the NFL. And they convert, 8th highest rush rate at 40% of the time they're going to run on 2nd and 10. Interesting. 10th in success rate at 30%, meaning when they do run it, it's successful at a 30% clip. Well, why does that matter? Well, I'm not a big fan of the 2nd and 10 run situation. And I wonder how much of this has to do with Cooper Rush, for the Cowboys' purposes at the very least. But I wonder how much of this has to do with Cooper Rush. And I wonder where we were last year. I wonder where we were the years before. It's just a very interesting stat. And how does this correlate to winning? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But when I look at the top 10 teams that do run the ball after an incomplete pass on 1st and 10, only 3 of them have a record above 500. Interesting. Cowboys included. Or a record at 500. Are the Niners even above 500? But then you look at the bottom 10. 7 of the teams that are in the bottom 10 of 2nd and 10 rush rate following an incompletion are above 500. And y'all know my guy, Mike McDaniels. That's my guy. I root for him. I hope he has a lot of success in this league. I think he's an incredibly smart offensive coordinator. You know how many times they run the ball? 2nd and 10 after incompletion? Less than 5% of the time. Mike McDaniels says, screw all that. Incomplete, we going to come back and get this pass. I love it. I'm going to keep an eye on this if I can. Somehow, some way. Professor O can maybe help me out here. With Dak Prescott back, how often do they do this? I don't think you need to run the ball at this high rate of a clip with him back as opposed with Cooper Rush. We saw that with Cooper Rush. Like, it didn't matter. Like, they were going to run the rock. I get it. I don't necessarily think you got to do it with Dak Prescott. I think you can trust Dak enough to be able to throw the ball. And if you look at the 7 teams at the bottom, you're talking about the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Bucks, right? These teams that even the Giants are technically in the bottom 10 here. And that's a lot of that scheme. A lot of that's quarterback. I like to see Dallas kind of slide toward the bottom of that. That's all. Moving forward. So before I get to Mike McCarthy speaking on Odell Beckham, Josina Anderson had a tweet the other day that I didn't catch. She said, quote, "The Cowboys have been in touch with a number of free agent wide receivers over the course of, quote, the last few weeks, per league sources. Nothing tremendously imminent at this time." I'm going to ask y'all, who are these other wide receivers out there in free agency that aren't Odell Beckham? I mean, Will Fuller? Maybe. I guess that could be a name, but it sounds like Will Fuller is halfway in, halfway out. And if you're halfway out, I really don't want much to do with you. But how many other free agent wide receivers are they looking at? I mean, honestly, if it's not Odell Beckham, your free agent addition is James Washington. I don't know that I would mess around with another, unless they think somebody's hurt or dinged up and need to bring somebody else in as a body, practice squad maybe. Maybe we're talking about a special teams guy. Very vague tweet by Josina Anderson, but a number of free agent wide receivers. Okay. T.Y. Hilton. Damn sure ain't no dead. Yeah, I guess T.Y. I would honestly T.Y. over Will, because Will Fuller's out. Like, a guy who's not ready to, who doesn't want to play football, I don't want on my team. So what's the number? That's interesting. But the big one is Odell Beckham, and they asked Coach McCarthy yesterday about the possibilities of Odell Beckham or the interest, which again, very surprising. They asked him and he answered, but this is what he said. Quote, "I've always been a huge fan of his. All the guys that I've worked with the New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns, everybody has nothing but great things to say about him. Obviously, I've always been so impressed with his football playing ability, but I've heard so many excellent things about him over the years. I think those are conversations for the future." You know, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I do think that the interest in Odell Beckham is real, very, very much so real. But this is very unusual to hear McCarthy gush over a guy publicly that's a free agent in the middle of a season. Like, that's not really Mike's thing, which lends me to believe that it's even more real and lends me to believe that I think he wants Beckham on this team. I do. I think that's kind of his public lobby of trying to get him on this team without saying that, right? Because, you know, in that same quote, he was talking about how he's got trust in his guys, he likes his guys, and the coach thing, the thing he's supposed to do, not publicly say I don't believe in XYZ. But there's no doubt in my mind, at battling against Odell over his career, having coaches that's coached Odell Beckham, whether it be in Cleveland or in New York, inside information on him, I think he feels comfortable bringing him in. And I think he's pushing to bring him in. But much like his time in Green Bay, it's not up to him. And he's just going to go by, what the big suits say. So, but if he's not snapped anymore, maybe he got some juice, man. And then finally, yesterday it came out on .com. I think some people down there at .com spoke with some of these guys. Malik Hooker said that he will be back this week. Hooker said it was a precaution last week why he didn't, or the week before, why he didn't play, because he didn't want to have to battle the injury over the rest of the season. Cowboys Nation, wasn't that a hamstring? I believe it was a hamstring. And with the safety rotation, good on him. Trusting his guys, not trying to go out there and making things worse. Getting that 2 weeks, essentially really like 3 weeks, right? If he didn't practice all week going into the Bears, and then you get the bye, and now you're going into Green Bay. So get 3 weeks of rest, essentially. That's a good thing for Malik. Hopefully it heals up and we can move forward, because we're going to need Malik Hooker down the line. He's been playing some of his best ball since he was healthy in Indianapolis. So it's a good thing the Cowboys can get Malik back, as well as Sam Williams. Very similar. They elected to give him some R&R, some rest and recovery. And it said it paid off. And he's set to return this Sunday against Aaron. The difference, and I know we as Cowboy fans, we always think back. But I'm just sorry, I can't help it. I start thinking about when the Cowboys played Aaron Rodgers at home in 2017, the pass rush the Cowboys had there, the Tyrone Crawfords, rushing. In 2014, the Jeremy Menzies, the Jack Crawfords. You know what I mean? And now I think about who's going to be rushing Aaron Rodgers. Oh, man. When Sam Williams is your 6th and 7th man off the bench, if we're using basketball analogies. A-Rod, this is not your grandfather's Cowboys or whatever they say, right? No. This ain't JG's Cowboys name. This ain't JG's Cowboys. But good thing to have Sam back. We're actually going to talk about Sam Williams here later on in the show when we dive into our day 1/2 picks. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. We will start with day 3, but not all of day 3 for reasons being certain guys have played a little bit more. So stick around for that. Before we get into all of that, though, our guy has been waiting on hold on this phone for quite some time. So let's hit the phone lines right quick. Pulse of the Nation presented by the Cochran Firm, guys. Since 2005, our guys Larry Taylor and Brian Pope have been handling the most challenging civil cases in the DFW area, fighting and serving the DFW area community. All of their civil cases are handled on a contingent fee basis, meaning If there is no financial recovery, then they charge no fee. It's easy. Hit them up at 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com. Head on down. It's a beautiful facility. It's a welcoming facility. Great staff, great people. I encourage you, if you have anything you need in regards to law, legal, whatever, hit them up, 1-800-THE-FIRM, CochranTexas.com. 912, what it is, what it do?
Yo, I just wanted to, what's up, Sky?
What's up with you, man?
Man, I just wanted to bring up, talk about the Odell real quick.
Yep.
I am stage 5 cancer sick of hearing about Odell Beckham.
Well, get ready until you sign somewhere.
Let me tell you why. What's the most important game for the Cowboys moving forward at this point?
You tell me.
In your opinion.
Everyone.
In your opinion.
Everyone.
Okay. The Eagles in December.
Okay.
The rematch, right? That's going to determine if we're even worthy enough to go to the Super Bowl. And Odell Beckham, one second. And Odell Beckham isn't even cleared to play until mid-December, which means after he goes through the physicals and practice ready and game ready, we'll be past the Eagles game. And if we can beat the Eagles without Odell Beckham, what do we need him for?
You said he won't be clear. I don't know if you heard Jay Glazer's report. He's supposed to be cleared at the end of the week. Hello? Hello?
Really?
Hello?
Because I heard he was slated to be returned to mid-December, early December.
Yep. Jay Glazer came out on Sunday and said that he is going to be fully cleared by the end of this week. So we're talking maybe November 12th-ish, 11th-ish, somewhere around there. So regardless, wherever he goes, that's a good thing for him. That way he can kind of get acclimated sooner rather than later.
So it's not,
I'm just saying
not
that's
early to mid-December.
Not according to Jay Glazer.
That's what I've been hearing.
I don't know who. I mean, have you been hearing it from Jay Glazer? I'm just saying, like, Jay Glazer is Jay Glazer. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it could be false. He could be wrong, but I know he's plugged in with the league. So he said end of this week. But to get to your point, because your main point is the Cowboys don't need Odell Beckham. Sure. I mean, they don't need Odell Beckham, but it doesn't hurt to have an Odell.
I'm just saying, okay, if he's not cleared to play against the Eagles and we could eventually beat the Eagles, what do we need him for?
So you're looking at it as one team, one game. I don't. And you're looking at it kind of tunnel vision. I'm looking at it as give me as much talent as possible to help you get to the Super Bowl. Like, if you beat the Eagles in Week 16, that doesn't guarantee you're going to beat the Eagles in the playoffs. It doesn't guarantee you're going to beat the Vikings, the Bucks, the Niners, whoever the hell you play in the playoffs. Honestly, the answer I was going to give you was the most important game is whoever they play in the playoffs, because I'm assuming the Cowboys get there. I think all these games in the regular season are equally as important because you got to build them up to get to the playoffs, but not to diminish them. At the end of the day, the Cowboys go 13-4 and 12-5. It all means squat if they get bounced in the first round. So I'm looking at it as give me as much talent as possible in the playoffs and let's roll. Let's see what we can do.
Okay. I don't know. There's just a lot of hype. And what is this second ACL tear?
Correct. Yeah.
Surgery?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy doesn't exactly have knees like Megan. Let's just be honest.
No, he don't. He don't. I think what
more
you have to do.
More like Derrick Rose.
Yeah. But Derrick Rose had a hell of a second act, man. A hell of a second act. But I think what you have to do is just adjust your lens, right? With Odell, if you're looking at Odell to come in and be some made up savior, I think that's the wrong way to look at it because you're not in need of saving.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I just think it just seems like false hope to me. I'm not buying it. I need to see him work out.
Yeah.
I mean, because Terrell Owens can put together a good workout tape and look fantastic at 48. Looks fantastic. Have you seen Terrell Owens work out? He looks fantastic. I don't mean we're going to grab him either.
No, I don't. I mean, I know Terrell Owens is a hyperbole, example, but But Odell just played less than a year ago in the Super Bowl and was heading to the Super Bowl MVP. So I get why teams are interested in Odell Beckham. They're just waiting for him to be cleared. And he's kind of waiting too, right? He's being patient, trying to pick his spots. That's right. I get the interest in Odell Beckham, but I'm also not going to hold my breath that it's going to happen.
Has Michael Gallup been the same since coming back from the ACL tear?
No, Michael Gallup is still working through his ACL tear. And what I would rebut to that is that Odell Beckham has been through this before. And, I mean, quite frankly, this is no knock on Michael Gallup. He's not in Odell Beckham's world when it comes to, being a productive receiver and talent. I don't even think it's close. So, if you can get Odell Beckham at this stage where Michael Gallup is at, I think he'd be better than Michael Gallup.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like the receiver room definitely needs some help, but I feel like this run defense has been our Achilles heel. I'd rather spend that much money on another defensive tackle. Tackle in the middle.
Who are you paying? Let's say Odell Beckham gets a long-term contract, like 2-3 year contract. There's nobody out there in free agency that you're going to pay Odell Beckham money. You can get. That's the thing. We do this a lot in Cowboys Nation. Well, use that money, go XYZ. You can still get that guy you're looking for if you want a defensive tackle. But what if I told you, getting extra receiver help can help you score points so that teams don't run the ball on you? Remember, we talk about this all the time here. There's two ways to get teams to not run the ball: shut them down or score and make them not run the ball. So, it can have a domino effect.
And let's say Odell Beckham comes back and he is semi-Odell Beckham. I hope this doesn't give Kellen Moore guess what? I'm passing the ball every time now.
Yeah, that's a legitimate fear because we haven't, this is the first year. Well, last year he kind of did this too, the first 7 games, but this is the first time we're starting to get confidence in Kellen being a balanced guy. But again, Kellen showing that he's growing a little bit. And, baby steps with Kellen Moore. We're not asking Kellen Moore to be Mike McDaniels and Andy Reid just quite yet, but he's showing some growth in his game planning and his game calling. And, you get Odell Beckham. I'm not saying even if you don't get Odell Beckham, you get Dak Prescott back. That doesn't mean you throw the ball around the field. He remained balanced the last 2 games. But if you got to get into one of those games, I damn sure would love to have Odell Beckham. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Well, I mean, we both wanted to work out. That's all that matters.
Yep.
As long as it works out, I don't care how.
Yes, sir.
But hey, thank you for taking my call and being patient with me.
Absolutely, man. Good call. I get the skepticism. I mean, this is a second ACL, right? I just don't want Cowboys Nation to. Cowboys Nation to adjust their lens. Odell Beckham ain't some kind of savior. No. Odell Beckham is an added potential talented piece. Why y'all be some? All right, wow, man. Y'all done shoot, man. Hey, listen, Mr. Unpopular Opinion and got the phone lines lit. Now we all calling in. Let me get CG right quick, and then we gonna roll into this rookie stuff. What's up, CG?
What's up, Will Steele?
What's goody, man?
Hey, man, I had a question for you.
Fixed it.
How would you really feel if Dallas got OBJ?
I'd be happy.
How would you really feel?
I'm telling you, I would be happy, excited, whatever you want to call it. I would totally welcome Odell Beckham Jr. 100%.
I think he would be a great asset to the Cowboys. But the last caller kind of got under my skin a little bit. It's not all about him coming back to play the Eagles. It's about them getting him, and they go on a run for the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if he came, let's say Dallas did sign him today, and he go to practice and all that stuff, they don't necessarily, like you said, need him for Sunday in Green Bay. They don't need him the following week. You know what I mean? When they can use him when they're fully ready to use him. You know what I mean? And he will also help CD which means I'm not saying OBJ is a great route runner like Cooper is, but that gives him a chance to take up the whole side of one field and help them free CD open. You know what I mean?
Before all the injuries and the moving around, Odell can route your ass up, man. He definitely can get free at the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
Now we'll see. We'll see what happens with the second ECL, but he's deadly at the LOS, man.
Absolutely. But I haven't talked to you in a while, man, so I thought I'd call in this morning, you know what I mean, and holler at you about, I just think that Dallas will beat Green Bay, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Our defense is way better than Detroit's. They don't have no run game. You know what I mean? They don't have no wide receivers to where now we got to worry about. I even think Anthony Brown will have a good game, but that's my opinion.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get into it, and I apologize for y'all. I've been teasing y'all for the last 2 days. The thing about the AB, he's gonna get tried, and he's gonna get tried by Aaron Rodgers because I don't think Aaron Rodgers want to mess with Diggs too much. The thing about A-Rod is his head right now is not in the game. He is so discombobulated. You watch him plays, throwing fits out there, yelling at himself, talking to himself. But at the end of the day, his arm is still his arm. And, there's throws that he makes sometimes where it's like, whew, he put that thing right there. Right. And I feel like he's going to try AB. But they just don't have as many weapons, man.
Right. So if he's going to try AB, because I don't think AB is bad as what people think he is, to be honest with you. Because he's always there. It ain't like he get burnt up. He's there. They might make a play on him, like, over him or on him, but he's there. It ain't like he's way away from from the ball. But
AB is what he is, man.
But what receiver do they got that can really line up with him? Let's be real.
They just lost. I mean, I don't know if Romeo's a Dobbs. I don't know if he's going to be out this week, but he got injured. Christian Watson got injured. There's no Randall Cobb. Sammy Watkins is a shell of himself. They are about to roll out a mash unit, and they should get mashed.
Bubba Dub says, Sammy Watkins, trash. Be real, man.
Yeah, Lazard, that is true. Lazard is good, and they got a good rapport with Lazard, but that ain't going to be enough, man.
Even if Lazard, Lazard is going to be on the same side of the field as Trayvon.
If they put him over there. But I don't think Lazard going to be enough. Hence, what happened in Detroit.
Well, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. I ain't going to hold your line up, man. But I will say this. When the Cowboys go marching in, they're going to beat the Green Bay Packers at the frozen tundra. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, man. I'm out, man.
All right, bro.
What?
We use the Saints go marching in on. All right, hey, remix. I don't got my remix button. I took it out. I love y'all, man. Y'all something else. Yeah. So man, they had a lot of people, and we'll jump into the injury reports tomorrow when they come out. Actually, we won't Thursday, the injury reports, but we don't even need the injury report for the Packers, man. They have lost a lot of people. Bakhtiari went out, Dobbs, Watson, Rashawn Gary is gone, tore his MCL, ACL, whatever it was. Aaron Jones got dinged up. They man, better not go out there and let A-Rod do A-Rod things to us, man. But anyway, y'all, let's jump into today's meat and potatoes. Good, interesting cause to open up the show here. Appreciate y'all. Certified Hood Classic. Trapaholics. Y'all know the rest. Family show. So we're going to play a game with this entire thing here. And it's going to be called Meeting, Exceeding, or Falling Short of Expectations. Meeting, exceeding, or falling short of expectations for this here rookie class. And I'm going to start on the back end. And I'm going to bunch these guys together because there's not enough playing time to talk about them individually. So we'll go down this line here, and we're actually going to start at the bottom. Play along with me if you want. Church say amen. Devin Harper, 6th-round pick, Oklahoma State. I personally didn't expect a whole lot out of Devin Harper due to where he was selected. But one thing I kept going into this, and you'll hear me say this probably a lot throughout this activity or exercise. One thing I've learned over the last few years with the Cowboys is that they will keep all their picks. Except you, John. But they will try to keep all their picks. So you figured a guy like Devin Harper was going to be here, especially in a room where it wasn't as deep. And he was here. Meeting, exceeding, or falling short of expectations for Devin Harper. May surprise you, but I'm going to go meeting. Why the hell is it me? He on IR. True. I didn't really expect him to play much anyway, but when he did play, if he was going to be active, which he was the first 3 weeks, he played in 52 special team snaps. He was a part of that special teams unit. Wasn't until other guys coming off injury report and getting back, and then he got injured where, Devin Harper kind of went by the wayside. But I actually think that, Devin Harper met expectations, given a 6th-round pick who's on the team's got to play special teams, but not going to play on game day. So I'm going to go with meeting expectations. Unfortunately, Toxic, he's not playing. He went on IR, so that's why it's a bit weird with Devin Harper, because he's on IR now. But those first 3 weeks before things got funny with the roster and then the injury, I'm gonna go ahead and say he's meeting. Now, y'all don't got to do this for John Ridgeway, but John Ridgeway is part of the rookie report because clearly he's falling short of expect. I mean, that's being nice. He's not here anymore, number one. But if you wanted to play along with John Ridgeway, he still would have been falling short coming out of camp. Let's just be honest. They got John. Jerry and Steven talked John up big time. But one thing they forgot to remember, or they didn't remember, was that Bohanna wasn't with the ish. They thought he was just going to come in here and take Bohanna. Bohanna said, no, sir. No, sir, you will not do that to me. So, whether he's here or not, John, I don't think was ever going to exceed expectations coming out of camp. Going into camp, to me, it was falling short because I did expect John Ridgeway to do something, to make some type of headway, and he just fell short. So he's gone, though. He's a commander who helped lose the game against the Vikings. Matt Waletzko, 5th-round pick out of North Dakota, not state. I am going to go. Well, let me see what you say. Matt Waletzko, meeting, exceeding, or falling short of expectations. This one's a little interesting. Before I give y'all my answer. Big Matt Waletzko, who, by the way, is now on injured reserve with the same shoulder injury that was hidden from the public, but apparently they knew about coming into the season. Tweaked it in camp. Didn't get the surgery, didn't start on IR, was active for the first few games. You would think he's meeting, right? Or exceeding, right? I'm going to say falling short. Here's why. And this kind of ties into Tyler, which we'll talk about later. I was assuming Tyler was going to be your left guard, meaning Tyron was going to be your left tackle, which means your backup tackle, your swing tackle duties were between Matt Waletzko and Josh Ball. Watch Josh Ball. He's atrocious. Maybe I'm being harsh. He just wasn't that good. Matt Waletzko showed some, he showed something. He showed a little something, the few snaps or what have you, the few series that he had in there. But before all of that, I said this guy has a chance to compete with Josh Ball and win that swing tackle position. I don't know that he ever did, though. He may have. Maybe one's a left, maybe one's a right. I'm not quite sure yet. But I don't think he outright did it because he got hurt with his shoulder, which I didn't know about. until it happened. It was like, oh, yeah, we knew about this. His shoulder was injured. Really, Cowboys? His shoulder was injured. Okay. And then he didn't elect to get the surgery. I think if he had got the surgery, we all feel a little bit better. He's on IR. He's a TBD. He may not even make this list of meeting, exceeding, whatever. But he didn't. Then he gets hurt again in practice or on a play in special teams, and they has to get. So to me, I just think he's fallen. He fell short a little bit. Again, y'all, we're not talking about this as if this is the final look at any of these guys. We're just talking about right now up to the 6-2 point. That's all that is. And then finally, before we move on to the second part, Damone Clark. And this should be an emphatic answer from everyone. You're trolling if you don't have the same answer as the rest of the sane people in this world. Meeting, exceeding, or falling short of expectations for 5th round pick, Damone Clark. And while y'all do that, I'm going to go read a couple super chats, man. Or a super chat. A super chat? Yes, a super chat. Shout out to We Don't Wife Them 304s. Oh.
Super chat.
He says, should Micah play more snaps at linebacker? Keep up the good work, Brody. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yes. Against some of these running teams, 100%. I think you should. This is exceeding, right? I mean, everybody should be saying exceeding. Honestly, let's be real. And I know this is a little bit recency bias because he played against the Bears. I almost said Broncos because it was damn orange unis. The fact that he's even playing, period, active, practicing, whatever it may be, he's exceeded my expectations. I used to do this segment that Colin used to do called Where Colin Was Right, Where Colin Was Wrong. I used to do that on my old show where it was like Where Will Went Wrong. So it was www. It was one of these weird things. And I used to do Where Will Went Wrong. Will went wrong on Damone Clark. Another guy too later on in this show. 100% was wrong on Clark. I thought this would be a red shirt year. I was like, sit it out. Come back next year. We don't want to repeat the Jalen Smith situation, although different injuries, I understand. But the fact that he was able to battle his butt off, defeat that injury, prepare himself to actually play, and then not just prepare himself to play, but do enough to earn the trust of the coaching staff to get on the field right away. I mean, if we're being completely honest, I mean, you got your top picks and you got their production that they had and whatnot. I don't think anybody has overcome more than Damone Clark in this draft class. So 100% exceeding expectations. And I'm excited for this cat, man. I know we've seen these other guys, but I am really excited for Damone Clark. Maybe more excited than any of these other draft picks. And that's with guys that have been balling or coming along at the very least. But I'm really excited for Damone. Jay said, respect to Matt, though. He's going to be solid if he gets right. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to diminish, Matt tried to push through. Matt, well, let's go through that shoulder. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. Maybe I got to put on my doctor goggles, holla at my doctor, Professor. Oh, you ain't my doctor. But Dr. Boothby and ask him about this injury because listen, if he's getting surgery, it should be corrected. But if it's going to be one of those things that bother him throughout his career, maybe we look at next year and say, hey, man, Matt's just a hope and a prayer. We probably should still address this swing tackle position. Exceeding like Boston Science. Jeremy said, facts. Clark was my favorite pick in the draft. Clark had all the writings on the wall to be the steal for your draft. Maybe not the E-draft, but for your draft, he had all the writings because a healthy Damone Clark 100% goes in the second round, right? At the very least, the end of the second round. Marcus says, can't wait to see Harper when he's healthy. Another part where I was wrong in regards to this linebacking core was I said, man, next year, my frame going into the season is going to be completely different, right? You're going to have Micah Parsons, Devin Harper, Damone Clark, Jabril Cox, even on the field, but just the athleticism of that group. We're seeing Damone now. So, again, he's exceeding expectations beyond measure. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. We got 205 on hold. What's good with you, man?
What's happening with you, Sky?
Oh, this is Landlord from Alabama.
What's up? Hey, Can you hear me or this Bluetooth suck? Let me know because I can take it off.
You a little bit muffled, but I can hear you. The chat, let me know if y'all can hear Landlord.
I'll just take it off.
All right.
That's better.
Better, bro.
Okay. Yeah, man. I was talking about OBJ, man.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of people looking at it wrong, like you said, man. They want to try to do a negative spin on every type of storyline around the Cowboys some kind of way. They want to put some nefarious intent on it. You understand?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I just feel like if you can increase your chances, then why not? That's just foolishness. Like Odell, like it's mostly fellas on this on our platform. So look, it's almost like if you're trying to go approach a nice looking young lady. And, you got a full beard, it's all raggedy, and you got a hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? When you walk up to her, you ain't going to have the highest amount of chances. But if you was to, get a little clean cut, be a little more sharper dressed, be a little more damper, have your bun number 9 on, smelling good, looking good, that's going to increase your chances. That's what Odell Beckham is. He's going to increase your chances to succeed. It don't matter what you feel like the Cowboys' chances is, OBJ will increase them. It's simple math. Like,
Thanks.
I don't get what people want to indict us for it. You know what I'm saying? They want to just take a shot at the Cowboys, man. They look at this storyline as, Odell Beckham got to come over there. That means CD Lamb ain't this, or that means Michael Gallup ain't this. Like, nah, we just trying to increase them. Yeah, and they the ones that wanted Russell Wilson in the offseason. They the ones that wanted they was asking for everybody, man. So don't let the other fan bases hate on us and, discourage us from wanting to improve our team. Because like I said before, no matter how you feel about this team, no matter how many chances, like whatever your percentage of us winning the Super Bowl is, you better believe, make no mistake about it, that getting OBJ will increase them. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
You basically saying Odell Beckham's the YSL when you're rolling up into the club.
Yeah, you want to smell good, Sky. You can't go in there smelling like that pack. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look.
You gonna smell like the pet cologne. I don't want to speak nefarious, but
some Jones like that though. I'm just saying, but we ain't listen. This the Cowboys. We
them
can't.
Ain't the right kind of girls. Though,
no,
Sky.
they ain't. They dang straight. But what's your mission though? What's your mission? Is your mission the long term or is your mission the short term? Because that matters.
True
right?
That. True that. Those facts right now. Hey, you might be looking for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly. Yeah, man. But you know the.
But we looking for a good time though. We looking for a long time, I say, because we trying to look at the long picture, the Super Bowl. You understand? So
listen.
I feel like OBJ gonna turn that up, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't let the other fan bases influence y'all to be thinking nefariously about your team, man. We're going to be all right. If we can get him added on, I think about what Dak did for Round the Card. Think about what Dak did for CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was a slot guy just a couple years ago. Just think about, because I did this on my show, I said, do you think OBJ right now, because granted, we ain't seen him after this surgery, but we can project, though. We can project what he possibly could be. Do you think OBJ right now is better than Randall Cobb when he was with Dak? Because I believe so.
Odell Beckham's ceiling is definitely higher. Like, and honestly,
I'm talking about Randall Cobb at that time too, now, Scott. Not right now. You see what I'm saying? When he was in Dallas.
I mean, then. But again, the caveat is he healthy? We don't know what he is healthy, right? We're saying
that's
if healthy.
I said, granted, yeah.
If healthy,
yeah. I mean, if he real close to what he was last year, we ain't talking about prime OBJ. If he anywhere close to what he showed, what he did for the Rams.
Yeah, he'd be better than. I think I said this earlier, Landlord. if Odell Beckham is at the same stage of Michael Gallup in regards to their recovery, I think he's better than Michael Gallup. So damn sure think he'd be better than a Randall Cobb. And that's Randall Cobb. And that's no knock on Michael Gallup. I mean, is anybody arguing Odell Beckham's talent compared to
Man,
Gallup's?
I can't lie. I know this is an unpopular opinion because we Cowboy Nation, man. Odell Beckham is an outstanding wide receiver, man. I don't care what nobody say. I know he's a diva. I know he got his antics, but you got to even take that off his resume because what did he do with the Rams? This man held his composure in L.A.
Facts.
That's Sin City. That's the biggest. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest distraction on the man.
What he play
If he
in?
can hold his composure over there.
What he play in, y'all? What was it 8 games or something like that, or was it 12? Was it 12 games? Yeah, something like.
I don't remember exactly.
What I'm getting at is, something like 500 or 600 total yards and 7 touchdowns during his time in LA.
Now look at that offense without OBJ. They might be missing him, honestly.
Hey, you ain't lying.
Yeah, I ain't want to talk your head out, man. I just wanted to holler at you, Scott.
Nah, man, good stuff, landlord. Let them know where they can find you, fam.
Already, man. At Landlord from Alabama with the same handle on all social media. Just holler at your boy, man. Appreciate it, man. It's a good call.
Yes, sir. Great talk, man. He made a great point. Odell Beckham's the YSL. He said he ain't that loud, Pat. Hey, and you know how they get with landlord. This was dope. We talk about this a lot with Vosh. When people call in, y'all, it's like they part of the show. Landlord from Albany, landlord from Argentina. So what else y'all say? Y'all crazy. Landlord from Istanbul. Oh man, good stuff. Landlord be killing it though. Did somebody just say landlord from Westeros? Y'all crazy. Go holler at him. But man, yeah, I mean, you bring Odell here, guys. It's 100% a cherry on top type move, not a substance move, right? Not lacking substance on this team, I don't think. All right, let's get we got 2 609s here. We'll get to 609 271. What's goody?
What's going on, man? Landlord is funny, but he pretty much had the same idea I had when it was talking about Odell. It's the same thing I was thinking about when we was thinking about getting Amari Cooper. I was like, okay, during this time, when we first got him, and we had to give up on my first round. I think it was a first round pick, and then some other stuff. I was like, Amari Cooper right now, compared to the wide receivers of that draft class, like, is he better than them? And he wasn't that much older than the people that was coming in. I was just like, it makes sense. Like, I would give that up for that. So just like now, what could we improve on? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what position. What could we improve on that's going to be better than Odell Beckham from the last time we seen him? Because I can't say what he's going to be like now. We don't know because of the injury. But from the last time we seen him, to me, he's at least 1A, 1B, best receiver on the team right now. So with that being said, like, why not? Why not? If we can get him without, like, damaging our team in the long run, why not? So that's my biggest thing with Odell. And as far as the rookies and, like, how we drafted them and how they turned out, if we can get 2 solid guys, which I feel like we at least have 2, possibly 3. I have to think about the other guy. But, yeah, I think we have at least – we do have 3. Sam Williams. That's the other guy I was thinking about. We have 3 solid guys, I believe. That's going to be 1, maybe Pro Bowl, 2, possibility, and the third one, a very solid player for a long time. So I feel like draft-wise, if we can get 3 guys just like that, that's very good. But that's pretty much all I had. And, yeah, man, you got to put my name down on there as Cavs, man. Put me on there as Cavs.
So what I have to do is, again, I keep saying it, but every time I get off the phone or get off the stream, I'm doing something else. I think I got to delete this whole program and reinstall it because it's not allowing me to change names anymore. Yeah.
Got you.
So
you recently had me on there like a couple of days ago.
I don't know why it's not allowing.
But it's all good though. It's all good.
Hey, good call though.
Keep letting you know it's me. No
Thanks,
problem.
Brother. Yeah, let me get to something. You know what? It didn't slip my mind. Oh, he said Kev said something about, landing 2 or 3 solid or good players or, they did bring up Pro Bowl, so I don't want to go too far from his point. But I think with Dallas, if I may add here, I think Dallas, more than any other team or most teams, need more than 2 guys to hit, right? More than 2, maybe even more than 3, because of how they operate via free agency and trade. But this class, I think, has hit. And one of the guys that, again, where Will went wrong, it's a tongue twister when you say it real fast. One of the guys is Daron Bland. Daron Bland, this is the easy one here, right, y'all? Meeting, exceeding, or falling short of expectations. I came out of the draft and into mini camp, training camp, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, man, where is he going to be able to play aside from special teams? I said, right now, the best thing that Daron Bland has got going for him is that he's a 5th round pick, and the Cowboys are not going to cut Daron Bland. But boy, he's playing more than just I'm a 5th round pick. And honestly, I put this up there. Now, obviously, I think Damone Clark, given his injury situation, I hold him in high regard in regards to him exceeding expectations. But when you put the microscope on Daron Bland, the one start he had was, hey, young fella, we play in 15 minutes, but we need you to start. And he went out there and got his first interception of his career in his first start. Was it a clean game? No, but it seemed like he learned from that game, because the next game he had to start when Jordan Lewis went down, played another good game. He played another good game. In total this year so far in 2 starts, 108 defensive snaps. But here's another good thing for Daron Bland. 100 special team snaps played. So he's doing his thing on special team. He's doing his thing out there as a starting, and I say start because the slot is a starting position now, right, y'all? 7 tackles, a pick, 2 pass breakups, and when quarterbacks target him, 60.4 quarterback rating. Physical dude. Now, if you could split this into 2, right? You could say, well, what was your expectations heading into training camp, and then expectations coming out? Because coming out was completely different for me. Coming out, I personally thought he jumped Kelvin Joseph to be the Cowboys cornerback 4, and thought if any of these other dudes slip up, Daron Bland is the next man up to potentially take somebody's spot. And that's kind of what happened. Listen, J. Lou, we appreciate your services. But, you get hurt and a young guy steps up like this, and you can save money next year and not lose money. I know he's a locker room dude, but I think Daron Bland is ready to kind of take this thing. Now, we got 8 more games left. We'll see what happens to Daron Bland, but what y'all think here? Meeting, exceeding, or falling short? I think this is another one of those overwhelming, exceeding expectations, right? Exceeding expectations. Exceeding. C plays smart, Bland's B, succeeding. Deepest team. It's Stephen White. I'd imagine you're old enough to see the 3 Super Bowl teams in the 90s, right? You wouldn't dare say that this team is. Maybe you would. I don't know. I'm with Jeremy on this one. Y'all can't see it over on Facebook, but I would like to see it. I want to see Bland on the other side of Diggs. He covers and tackles, put Brown in slot. I kind of want to see that too. And stupid me, I should have pulled up. Who was it? Joe Witt Jr. talked about Daron Bland, and he specifically said that he can do outside, inside duties, and it would be nice. It'd be nice to see what he can do out there from opposite of Diggs, because I just feel like he's more of a magnet. I feel like he's more sticky, he's physical, and if you're not going to target Diggs as much, you're going to target opposite of Diggs. Maybe Blank can get you some of these interceptions. You've seen them all, and you believe this is the deepest team. Just do me a favor. Just in all seriousness. That's like just you being a homer, right? Like, you're not serious, right? I would love for you to call in and tell me you serious, bro. But we're not going to dive into that too much. So Daron Bland. Y'all let me know. A lot of you guys said exceeding. Let's get to this next guy. I like this one right here. Jake Ferguson, 4th round pick, Wisconsin. It didn't take long for me to like Jake Ferguson when I put on his tape. I personally thought more advanced than any of your tight ends coming into the league on your roster. Not saying right away, well, maybe some would argue he's better, but not saying right away he was better than Dalton Schultz, but coming in, he was a more polished receiver, and he was just as good, if not a better blocker. Same thing with Sean McEwen. Same thing with, who was the other guy we had? Jeremy Sprinkle, all those guys. And Jake Ferguson has played a crucial part in this offense staying afloat or now getting better. Now, if you're just a random fan from the Washington Commanders or whomever, and you look at his stats, 12 targets, 9 receptions, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns, you might go, eh. But that's not all Jake is doing, man. Jake is blocking his ass off. He's part of these 12 personnel packages. He's part of these 13 personnel packages. He's played in almost half of the offensive snaps. That is not something you can scoff over for a rookie 4th round tight end, especially in an offense where they rely on these tight ends. I think he's exceeded expectations. I know that sounds crazy because the numbers aren't there, but I do. I think Jake is, you know what? That might be a bit much. We talking it out. What y'all think? Meeting, exceeding, he's not falling short, so I'm not even going to go there. Is he meeting or is he exceeding expectations? I so bad want to say exceeding. I do. I so bad want to say that. But I'm be honest with y'all, I thought he would be tight end 2 anyway, and he was going to push Dalton Schultz off this roster next year. So if I'm being real, I think he's meeting expectations. I'm going to be real. I think he's meeting expectations. And that's not a bad thing, right? Because I expected a little bit more from Jake, not more than what he's doing, but coming in, I'm like, yeah, I expect Jake Ferguson to be a part of this offense. So I'm going to say meeting. Oh yeah, I think he's meeting expectations. He's doing the blocking things very well. He's playing in half of the snaps, doing some special teams things. He's catching almost all of his targets, clutch first downs, touchdowns. Yeah, he's meeting my expectations. The other 609. What you think, man? Meeting, exceeding expectations on Jake Ferguson.
I gotta say meeting.
Okay, that's where I'm at with it.
And maybe I don't know. Could be exceeding though. You gotta understand he hasn't had a lot of opportunity either.
That's true.
So I mean, like when he has had an opportunity, he has stepped up. Because remember, Dalton went out for a couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like he stepped in and we didn't miss a beat with him.
And let me say this: I didn't include Peyton Hendershot because he wasn't drafted. But it's going to be hard to separate Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. And if we're being honest, Peyton Hendershot to me is far exceeding expectations.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's undrafted rookie, so yeah, he definitely is too. But I think those two together, I don't know. I think it's like a package deal, which I think is going to lead to us letting Dalton Schultz go next year.
Absolutely, I agree. What else you got for the show, man?
How's it going, Scott? My name is Adam from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Just want to say I appreciate your work, man. Big fan of yours. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, but also, too, I'm not sure if I'm jumping ahead here, but I want to kind of talk about Jalen Tolbert. Am I going to? No, perfect segue. I'll let you get your Jalen Tolbert take off, and we'll get the Jalen Tolbert coming out the phone call. I got this question for you, Sky. Mm-hmm. All right, so knowing what you know now, would you still want to draft Sam Williams with that second pick? Or would you rather go for George Pickens or Sky Moore at that pick? Second round. I would definitely take Pickens. But Pickens wasn't there. Okay. Oh, he wasn't there? No. How about Sky Moore? I can't remember. Did Sky go before the Cowboys or after? I know. I think he went after the Chiefs had a better record, I think. That's true. Let me confirm that. Because if he went before us. Sam was 56, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Oh, they must have must have traded or something. Yeah, I think they traded up. Okay. Yeah, so Sky Moore and Pickens went before the Cowboys. Okay, so just say if if we could have made a trade to move up a little bit, would you have did that trade? I would have 100%. Or are you cool with Sam Williams? And this could be being biased. Professor O knows this. I was when George Pickens and Sky Moore were both available in the second round to start. I was like,
You can go back and look at the draft show, actually. Me and Mo were praying like hell they would fall to the Cowboys. Yeah, I would have definitely. I'd take, at the very least, Pickens. I mean, you could argue because Sky Moore's not doing much, but I think his skill set would have been perfect. Oh, it would have been perfect for Dak Prescott.
Right.
Well, and also he can route you up and he can play in the slot. He could do, he would have been excellent, I think, with this team. But George Pickens is just different. I think George Pickens, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So with Jalen Tolbert, man, it's frustrating, man. I'm getting he's on the Tristan Hill plan with me, man, because that's how Tristan Hill started off. He was inactive. Then he was on a couple of games. Then, his third year, he's finally getting in and still not showing much. It's disappointing, man. So now we're in a situation. Now we got to talk about getting Odell Beckham. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that, man, because, like, we're not sure what we're getting in the contract, too. The money may be too much for us. So I'm not sure, like, I don't know. That's really dicey with me.
Well, for Odell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like everything in Dallas is going to come down to dollars and cents. But, yeah, let's get into this Jalen Tolbert, man. So you're disappointed, right? And I think most people.
Tolbert, yeah. I mean, he can't beat out Semi Fehoko, can't beat out Dennis Houston, can't beat out Noah Brown. Yeah, he's disappointed.
That's true. Let's go ahead and get into it, though, man. Hey, what's your name again?
Adam Robbins from New Jersey.
Appreciate the call, Adam.
Guy.
Thank you, brother.
All right, take care, buddy. No problem.
Let's jump right into it, Cowboys Nation. Great segue. Jalen Tolbert, your third-round pick out of South Alabama. Let me emphasize that. Not Alabama, South Alabama. 8 games this year, 52 offensive snaps, 2 targets, 1 reception. 4 games, I believe, he's been inactive. 17 special team snaps. Just like some of these other dudes, I think this is overwhelmingly falling short, right? Or were there people that just was like, yeah, Jalen Tolbert was not going to play, like at all? Meeting, exceeding, or clearly ain't exceeding, or falling short of expectations. One Jalen Tolbert. And he makes the point of, here's the thing, unless Jalen Tolbert was George Pickens, it was going to be hard. Well, I mean, let me stop myself there because I ain't going to lie to you. Maybe here's the one thing you don't really see with these guys. You don't know how fast they'll pick things up. You really don't know what's in between their heads in the sense of, yeah, they might have picked things up at South Alabama. But go listen to our podcast me and Jesse Holly does, man. He lays it out so eloquently in regards to coming in to from college to the NFL. And having to pick up just basically just calling plays. It's hard. And I'd imagine, and this is a guy who Mike McCarthy said he praised him for his ability to pick things up. But that's what it is. It's not an athletic thing. It's not a talent thing. I just don't think he has it all up there right now in regards to this offense, in regards to being a professional wide receiver. And that's something that's going to take time. So the fact that he's falling short of expectations, I don't think that means he's going to fall short forever. But to be frank, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, who let go of a certain receiver, who drafted this guy in the 3rd round, 100% they expected Jalen Tolbert to be a part of this rotation. And right now, Jalen Tolbert is being designated to a fill-in receiver to block when he's in the ball game right now, or when he's not filling in, he's inactive. There's really no getting around that. At this point right now, he's falling short of expectations. More study in the film room, picking up things, and we will revisit this training camp next year, preseason next year, somewhere around there. We'll see where Jalen Tolbert's at, man. But I have all the confidence in the world he'll pick these things up. Will he ever live up to certain people's expectations who had maybe thought Jalen Tolbert could be, one of them ones? Maybe, maybe not. But you hope by next year, if there is no Odell Beckham on his team, Jalen Tolbert can put himself firmly as a top 3 receiver on this team. Then he'd be meeting expectations. Ooh, Danny Cole 2.0. Where was Danny? What, 4th round pick, y'all? 5th round pick? Y'all remember Danny Cole? That's a good one, Toxic. What was that, Virginia Tech? Los. What's good, man?
Good morning, Scott, man. I hope you're having a good Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Just one quick thing. I don't know if I told you before as the season started. I don't know if it's a gem or a curse, but the Cowboys have always shown the ability to put rookies on the field no matter what. And this is even before this rookie draft class. So, like, for them hitting a lot of the years just on rookies alone, I mean, that's credit to, Will McClay and, the whole coaching staff right there just to basically get the formula right. Because, yes, some of these rookies didn't work out and, some of them got let go. But the ones that are working now, man, they've been a game changer. And I don't know if you have gone into it, especially, I was never a fan of this pick, but Tyler Smith, man, I've got to give him his credit and his flowers for doing the job of the left tackle position, especially as a rookie, and filling in for Tyron Smith, because I thought, as soon as that left tackle position went down, I thought Dak was going to be in full. I need to do everything myself. But him being true to the running game, him being true to the passing blocking scheme has been dividends of this whole scheme, everything. And yes, he has his rookie moments, but that's every rookie. And that's all I got to say about that, Sky. And as far as these rookie class, I mean, Turpin, Todd Smith, Damone Clark, who else? I mean, we have hit on rookies time and time after again. So you got to give it to this, I don't know if Stephen Jones, Will McClay, whoever does it, but man, I'll tell you what, it's a curse and a blessing, Scott, because they frustrate me, but damn, they sure make me happy at times, and I'll give them the flowers with that.
All
so
right.
I'll leave it to it. Yep. So
right,
peace
man.
out, Scott.
Appreciate you, Los. Let's get another one in here before we get to the last 2 picks. 856, what it do?
Yeah, what up, bro? It's Rick from Jersey.
What's good, Slick Rick?
One thing off topic from the Cowboys I have to put in before we start. I feel like Geno Smith is Russell Wilson and Russell Wilson is Geno Smith.
Yo, that's crazy because that's what it's looking like.
That is literally just Pete Carroll that's had Russell playing like that. And I feel like Denver's pretty much assed out. But the other thing, I kind of definitely like a over-biased Cowboys fan, and I kind of shoot for the stars with my comparisons.
Okay.
But I feel like Jake Ferguson has some of the tendencies as Witten. Go 10 yards, turn around, catch it in his chest, and fall. Get a first down. Soft hands. Block his ass off. He's an extra lineman when he's out there. And, I mean, at Wisconsin, you're not going to get a ton of targets, so we really don't know what he's like that much as a receiver.
But let me correct you. Let me correct you there. I felt like I had to do this all during, after the draft. People just assumed that Jake Ferguson wasn't a pass catcher at Wisconsin. It's not true. He has like almost all the records for tight ends at Wisconsin.
Up to where we see it.
Huh?
Like it's not like publicized that much. Like you don't know him that much.
But that's why I said I feel like I had to correct people. I think there's this assumption, like you just said, like, oh, he didn't have a ton of opportunities. That's not true. He was one of their leading receivers at Wisconsin. And that's why I said coming into the league, I think he was more polished as a receiver, a pass-catching tight end than all of our tight ends, because most of them guys at Stanford, they don't throw the ball to you. At Michigan, they didn't throw the ball to you.
Graham Mertz throwing him the ball?
Say again?
Who was it? Graham Mertz throwing him the ball?
Oh, I have no idea.
And the other thing about Odell is the Rams from what I heard, the biggest thing they miss about Odell is his leadership. Like, right now, we don't have, a veteran wide receiver like we did with Amari. Amari's biggest thing was running routes. He was a crisp route runner. So he brought, the younger guys look at him like, okay, like he's doing this, maybe I should do this. Well, Odell's talent, so I'm hoping that he can bring leadership more than anything and just bring something to the table. Even if Odell's out there, even if he's not at his top level, you got to pay attention to him. So at least at all else fails, he's on the field. He's drawing attention to him. The only thing that I hope is that Kellen Moore doesn't say, "Hey, look, I have a new toy," and turn around and stop going with the 3 tight ends. I feel like that's the strongest thing that we have is the 3 tight end set, punch you in the face, play action, bootleg, get back on the move, and run the ball. Like, that's our strength right now. So I hope that bringing Odell in doesn't make him kind of lean away from that a little bit when I feel like that's everything right now. Like, that's the center of our offense.
I tell you right now, if you want to roll out 13 personnel all day, I welcome it. Go ahead. I don't think you want to roll out 13 personnel all day, but 12 personnel, you definitely want to have that be a part of your normal package. But I don't think you need to run out 13 I mean, you need to have a solid 11 personnel, man. I mean, it's the 2022.
No, but I feel like Dak is with 3 tight ends, he's had his best plays so far. And I'm not saying every play, but I'm saying that
only had 2 games.
To him that it bobbed a lot.
He only had 2 games, and one of the games we struggled offensively until the fourth quarter. The other one we went berserk. And if you really look at it, that was, I mean, Dak played his ass off, but Kellen also caught an amazing game too. So if he gonna do that with 3 tight ends, no running back,
right. But
I think you gotta have diversity is what I'm getting at. Like I hear what you're saying.
I just want him to keep the same way he's calling it now.
Right, and we said this earlier. We said this earlier. If you bring in Odell Beckham, that shouldn't mean that you're just going to just air out all across the yard.
Exactly.
What Odell does is
what I'm trying to get at.
He improves your 11 personnel package. Or shit, he might mess around and be a wide receiver too.
And the last thing, sorry to cut you off. The last thing that with my comparisons, you got Clark running 22 miles an hour, and he's that big. Man, that looks like Ray Lewis out there, man. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Is you're that big, that fast, and he's got instincts. You've seen it at LSU. I think as soon as this dude just gets his head right, they said that Broadus said that he was like kind of overrunning stuff a lot. So I think it's his first game out there, and he was thrown into the fire. I can only imagine, the adrenaline he had. But I think as soon as he calms down, gets more reps, just like Sam Williams. I wish they put Sam Williams out there more on passing downs. Gets more reps, I think that it just comes with time. But you get him in now, and come December, he's polished and ready to go.
Indeed, man. Hey, appreciate the call, good brother.
Yep, no doubt.
Thank you. Speaking of Sam Williams, let's go ahead and jump right into Sam. I'm really interested to see what y'all got to say about Sam, who is starting to turn it on. He missed the game 2 weeks ago, banged up his knee. Somehow got put on an injury report in the middle of the week. But prior to missing that game, 10 tackles, 9 solo, 4 tackles for loss. More tackles for loss than your linebackers. 2 sacks in that Detroit game, which is his coming out party. 4 quarterback hits, 9 pressures, and only 59 pass rush snaps. I think this one is interesting because it's clearly meeting or exceeding. It's not falling short. Meeting or exceeding your expectations. It's a good one here. And I'm going to put this one along the same lines as Jake Ferguson, Cowboys Nation. I had expectations for Sam. Were they through the roof? No. They were about this. Part of the rotation. get you, what I say, y'all? 4. I said about 4 to 6 sacks, 4, 5, 6 sacks on pace for about that. We might even get more than that. You know, show off the athleticism, show off that toughness, show off that versatility. I think he's doing these things. So I think he's meeting my expectations. But is he meeting yours? Is he exceeding yours? And if he's exceeding your expectations, I'm curious, why were your expectations lower? Set it off, said he's exceeding because I ain't pay attention to Ole Miss until they started recruiting my son. Your son's a beast, man. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't get into the lab until after the season. So, you know, when Sam was picked, we knew what Sam was, right? And then you get him here in camps and you hear about him and things like that. And you also got to say, well, Scott, do you mean expectations after the pick? It's expectations after camp, things like that. I think mine stayed steady. Even after the preseason, I thought he had a really good preseason. I still didn't want to throw him into the vultures in the sense of, man, I'm expecting Sam to get in here and get me 8, 9, 10 sacks and be starting and be a Pro Bowl. I wasn't expecting all that. I expected Sam to be a part of rotation, make some impact plays, and get between 4 to 6 sacks. And he's starting to turn it up. He's starting to turn it up. Meeting, but only because of lack of opportunity. Meeting, says Just. Yo, Marcus, I swear, bro. He said Sam is Micah's half brother. Man, they goddamn twins. Slam Williams. Billy D. Sam. Exceeding. Better than you thought. Exceeding because of his IQ, says hallelujah. Brandon said X meeting. I feel you, though. I feel you on that. That's why I said this is an interesting one, because you could argue. You could argue exceeding. I won't, but you can argue exceeding because of what he just did. Let's be honest. He just went the hell off against the I didn't even put it on there. Forced fumble recovery. I didn't even put all that on there. But I can see it because that last game, man, that was like, oh, if he does that every 2 or 3 games, he's going to far exceed expectations. Period. And then finally, let's wrap it up with the first round pick. Another interesting one. You see, the higher we get with these picks, those expectations aren't as low. Tyler Smith, tackle out of Tulsa, expected to be a guard. And that's why this is interesting. Then Tyron went down and he had to slide out to tackle. I got a take here. I have a take. And you ain't going to like it because it's like, well, damn it, man, pick one. I'm going to say both. Both as in exceeding and meeting. Let's be real. He's meeting my expectations as a first round pick. Hear me out. I expected Tyler Smith to be a starter on this team. I expected Tyler Smith to be a starter at guard. I expected Tyler Smith to do some good things as a starter. I did not see Tyler Smith being your tackle from day one. So 100% of his snaps at left tackle, that's exceeding my expectations. The 16 pressures, 4 sacks, the 9 penalties, though. Only 7 were accepted, but the 9 penalties are not good. I would say he's exceeding my expectations at left tackle, and I don't do that with my chest. I'm not saying that with my chest because we're starting to see a little bit of just a little crack, and maybe this is what he need, right? And this ain't me saying Tyler's been bad. No, he's not been bad. Tyler Smith has done a solid job over there at left tackle. But I didn't expect him to be a left tackle. I didn't even expect him to be solid if he had to get thrown out there with no training camping, right? Like you get thrown out there with no training camp into the NFL, no preseason, and your offense, I don't think is worse off because of it. I mean, I got to say, man, that's exceeding. That's an important position there. But y'all know what the conversation is going to be. And we're not gonna do it today. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole today. But the conversation gonna come up, Cowboy Nation. Tyron Smith is coming back soon. And if you ask me, has he exceeded enough expectations enough to stay there when he come back? Dude, not me. But we already had this conversation. You know how I feel. I can't wait to see what they decide to do, man. So Tyler Smith exceeding or meeting? A lot of exceeding. Exceeding for left tackle. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Is it if he was guard, but left tackle, I didn't see this. Yeah, a lot of people are saying exceeding. Yeah. All right. Let's finish up these phone calls, man. We got a 267 on the horn. And then I think we got mail. What's up, 267?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, PA in the house,
Hey, we're at in PA. Philly?
Yeah, I'm about like 10 minutes away from Philly.
Yeah, I saw the 267.
It's funny. We share a lot of similarities. I'm a PA guy, and I'm actually a Cowboys content creator as well.
Oh, what's your channel?
I'm Cowboys Beat on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, I don't do the TikTok too much, but I do watch TikTok because it's funny, but I just don't do TikTok videos. But I'm going to check you out.
Yeah. You guys tag me in a few of your posts. I always try to repost you guys whenever I see some of your stuff go through.
Appreciate it, man.
So I saw a very interesting stat when it comes to Micah Parsons. He's played 347 snaps on the defensive line and only 105 in the box. I think that they should probably increase his snaps from the box because I was looking at a play. There's a run play that Chicago ran, and Micah Parsons did a fantastic job lined up at linebacker. I'd like to see that a little more.
Yeah, the other day, I forget what it was last week, maybe Tuesday or something like that, Wednesday. I showed a play, might have been Monday actually, with Micah Parsons at linebacker, 2 plays, where I was like, see, this is why I want Micah at linebacker a little bit more because the 2 plays he made seem routine plays for linebackers. But I've seen the Anthony Barrs and the LVEs not get through that muck, not get through that trash, not get over that guard or center and get caught up. And now the running back gets a couple extra yards. So we're probably talking about the same plays.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I wanted to talk to you about, I think that the tight ends are doing a fantastic job run blocking at the moment.
I agree. We're talking about exceeding expectations. Peyton Hendershot is probably your most polished receiving threat at tight end for the rookies and non-Dalton Schultz, right? We're talking about the McEwens and Jake Fergusons. But he's improved as a blocker. He exceeded my expectations as a blocker. So shout out to Lundewell. Shout out to Joe Philbin for getting that guy improving because he came into the league as a pass-catching tight end, athletic guy, but he's been doing a hell of a job as a blocker.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a play that he had against Philly where he, threw a Son Reddick on that one Tony Pollard run.
Yeah, and then the other one he sprung on the Bears, he helped spring Tony Pollard for the touchdown with his open field block. Yeah. He's been better in open field than Schultz was last year in open field.
And I honestly think that's the difference between, this year's team and last year's team. The way that they're able to get out on the perimeter and run, I think a lot of that has to go with the fact that this year your tight ends are just blocking better than they were last year.
Excellent point. That's an excellent point.
So yeah, I like what I'm seeing from them so far. By the way, I don't like these 304s as well.
Wait, that's you?
I forgot to include that. That's me, yeah.
Time out. I did not expect that. This is Samuel Rowe 2.0. You are out of wipe these 304s. Oh, Lord.
I'm off from work today, so I was like, let me check what Will's doing. I'm going to call him the Vacha show later.
Y'all be surprising the hell out of me, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Well, my guy, it was great talking to you.
Hey, if you get a chance, call in the Vacha show later. You got to let him. Don't tell him who you are until the end.
Okay, I got you.
Please. I want to see his reaction. All right.
Yeah, definitely. All right, bro.
Yo. That's good stuff. He always drops some of the dopest super chats. King Element and the guys that are over there, Toxic Professor, all those that are over there on the volume. They know what I'm talking about. Not gonna lie. Didn't expect you to sound like that. And that's the beauty and you know, the fun part of this community. You just don't know who's behind these names. Like when Toxic called in here, I really wanted to send him all of my, you know, my monies and say, man, just do my dang on taxes, bro. You be my accountant. And he was spitting. Samuel, I saw a picture of Sam and I said, ain't no way I'm being trolled. There's no way. Because I've heard Sam. I was like, I didn't expect that. No, sir. Didn't expect that. We don't wipe them 304s. Wow. I love it. Hey, Ron, that was we don't wipe them 304s. Hey, yo, y'all crazy. Is this Mel?
Yes, sir. Never judge a book by its cover, my friend. Never judge a caller by their YouTube name.
Hell no. Not a chance I'm doing that again. I am not assuming nothing. In fact, Iceberg Slim in the chat right now. Iceberg Slim, you know what? I was picturing one thing. Now I'm picturing another thing just because. So you got to call it Iceberg.
Yeah, just go on and change what you thought. What up, King?
What up with you, man?
Man, you got it, boss. Man, I wanted to call in yesterday, bro, and talk about the OBJ. Odell Beckham thing, man. OBJ thing. Man, this is just my personal opinion. I just don't see no way this happens. And I hate to sound negative towards that because I know it is a lot of people excited about it. I just personally don't see no way. And the reason I don't see no way is because I think he's looking for more than what the Cowboys have traditionally, and when I say traditionally, I really mean over like maybe the past 3 years, have been willing to offer off-the-street free agents, and that's a 1-year deal. I don't see them offering him more than a 1-year deal, and that 1 year being this year. Jerry has said earlier, or maybe Steven, one of them has said OBJ is a guy you pick up for a playoff run.
Yep.
Cowboys are definitely in a playoff run. So I do see them. Are they interested? Yes. They're interested in everybody that's injured. If you're injured, the Cowboys, if you're injured and you once were really, really good, the Cowboys are definitely interested in you. Are they going to be interested enough to beat out other bidders? That I don't see. I don't see if somebody comes along, hey, look, we got 2 years, $15 million guaranteed, one option, whatever. I don't see him taking that over what the Cowboys will basically be offering will be a 6 or 7 game contract plus the playoffs. So I just don't see it happening. Tell me why I'm wrong though.
No. That is fair because our history. But what I was going to ask you is, what do you want him to do?
Oh, you know what I want. I want them to sign him.
Okay, you want him to go for it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yesterday I brought up on Vacha's show. I think this could be a bit different. I mean, and again, when I say different, y'all don't throw tomatoes at me. I ain't saying it's going to happen. I'm saying I do think at this point, him being a free agent and it being past the deadline actually plays in the Cowboys' favor, man, because you could put so many things in that contract. He's coming off an injury, check, right? Coming off injury, check. Veteran, check. He shouldn't cost you Super Bowl. He shouldn't cost you, the premium money. Yeah, it may be a little bit more, but I just feel like, Mel, this would be one of them times to take a gamble, because I don't think it's that big of a gamble. To take a gamble, especially if you can protect yourself in the contract, but will you get outbid? That's the thing.
I say if he has a market, if there is a market for Odell,
get outbid.
That's where I just see it being tough. Cowboys are really good at signing guys when the market is low because then they can use the Cowboys thing. Like even with an Anthony Barr. So like let's say if somebody else offered Anthony Barr a similar contract or maybe even a little bit better, well, Anthony, you come over here. We got these many primetime games. You know, even if we don't bring you back next year, you get a chance to really get some good stuff on film in front of the, entire league, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
That they can kind of use to bid out other people. But if Odell has a market, everybody know who Odell is already. If he has a market, I think it'll be really, really tough. I do think they are going to go after him and offer him something, though.
Oh, yeah.
Let
me read this to you.
I do think they are going to go after him and offer him something.
Let me read this to you. Professor O dropped this in the chat earlier, and one over here, and I grabbed it. John Machota. Cowboys' Jerry Jones on 105 through the Fan said, and I quote, Odell is someone that we have all the appreciation in the world for what he is as a competitor. I know the Cowboys star on that helmet when he puts it on could look pretty good. Jerry say a lot of stuff. McCarthy doesn't say much.
He do.
And I don't like to hang on to everything he's saying, but that's that. I know the Cowboys star on that helmet when he puts it on could look pretty good. Last week, 2 weeks ago, he was like, I can't say too much. Now he's like, hey, he put that star on his helmet. They definitely, like you said, they definitely won him. If it was up to Jerry, they'd have him.
I think they I do.
But
I do believe they will offer him something.
But it's Steven.
I think they also wanted Von, though. I think they wanted Von Miller, too. They offered him something.
Yeah, but
it just wasn't.
This ain't going to be close to Von Miller. Von Miller, you had
No.
Yeah.
You had to come with it.
Yeah, Von Miller, you had to come way, 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 way higher than you're going to have to come for Odell Beckham. I mean, we're talking about upwards of $60 million guaranteed in money. There's no way, Odell was getting $60 million guaranteed, I don't think.
Man, my last one, man, was on the rookie Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah.
I personally always saw Tolbert as a developmental player. I never saw him nothing more than a developmental player. Now,
so with that said, is he meeting or exceeding, or is he falling short on your expectations?
I would probably still say falling short, even though they weren't high. I was thinking, damn, you can't get 10 catches on the season. At this pace, he's not going to get 10 catches.
No.
That's pretty low. And I had low expectations. I was not one of those Tolbert's going to get 1,000 or Tolbert's going to have a rookie year like Gallup. I never thought any of that. I always felt
so he
was
Marv?
A small school guy. Yeah, Marv, come on, man. Marv, but I love Marv's enthusiasm, man. I love Marv. Marv said 1,100, bro.
I feel him.
But I always look at third round receivers or really, later round draft receivers as developmental guys, because as much as people think receivers just come right in the way and start balling, they really don't. A lot of times, especially these later round guys, when you look at even some of the greats that were drafted in the later rounds, like Terrell Owens, AB.
You don't even got to go back that far.
Took a minute.
You don't even got to go back that far because it's a different league. The guys usually drafted earlier do come in a little bit sooner and then have an impact. But like you said, those day 2, day 3 guys, it takes a little bit, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I definitely was one of those who thought that that Jalen Tolbert could be in the top 3 for your receivers. Obviously not number 2 because Michael Gallup was coming back, but potentially number 3, depending on the James Washington. I thought him and James Washington could have been, back and forth for 3 and 4. So I wasn't putting the expectations on him to be that guy, but I damn sure was expecting him to contribute something.
Beat out Dennis Houston?
To beat out Dennis Houston, man. I mean,
beat out Dennis Houston.
Yeah, but maybe next year that'll be the case. Maybe next year.
Yeah, man, I would say, I'm not down on him at all, though, man. He's not meeting expectations, but I'm not down on him as a player. I'm willing to give him that time, let him develop, and we'll see what he is going forward, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I always try to emphasize here with these young players, man, because in a popcorn society and talk radio and social media, we all want now. But we lose track of the word development. 15, 20 years ago, we're not really talking about this because we're allowing them to develop. But that's what you got to do. I mean, Michael Gallup really didn't come on until the end of his rookie year. And he always credited, he credited Allen Hurns for that because he said he helped me become a pro. And I mean, I hate to say this, maybe it's Michael Gallup.
They don't have that guy.
But they don't have that guy, Mel. They don't have that guy.
They don't have that guy. They don't have that guy.
And that's not.
Well, man, let me jump off, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that's not saying that Allen Hurns was better than Michael. Is better than Michael Gallup. That's not what I'm saying. Allen Hurns had been around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Just from a leadership standpoint.
Right. That's all I was saying.
And he had been on a few teams. Yeah, but man, I'm gonna jump off, bro. Great show as usual, man. I'm gonna check you guys out later, man. And salute to you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Good stuff today. Good stuff. Oh, Jerry out there talking, huh? Jerry gonna talk. We gonna talk. Good stuff today, Cowboys Nation. I'm glad we got a chance to review the rookies at the midway point. I felt like they were owed a spotlight, whether it be good or bad. They were owed that recognition to see how they've been performing in their rookie years. And for most of this rookie class, I think it's been pretty good. Your Daron Blands, the Sams, the Tylers, the Jakes, Peyton Hendershots of the world, Damone Clark. You come away with those 5 or 6 guys that are doing some things for you. Yeah. That's the success of year one. Now, can a few of them increase their level of play? Because I think you might need, like, if Sam Williams increases his level of play, that could be major in the playoffs. If Tyler Smith increases his level of play, whether he's going to be at tackle or guard or whatever, it could be major coming to playoffs. And Daron Bland for that matter, man, can be major when it comes to the playoffs. Y'all, man, great today. Let's get to some super chat. Did I already do all my super chats? I didn't, but I'm going to do this super chat after Boston, because I like this one. Andy Zubia, appreciate you. That super chat is going to be brought to you by Boston Scientific. In the U.S., more than 39 million men suffer from erectile dysfunction. Boston Scientific created edcure.org to help you find your best cure. To get started, go to edcure.org, take a quiz, and learn your severity or risk of ED. If you have a condition that puts you at high risk, you'll find customized content. Fastest way to find your best cure is to contact an ED specialist by browsing a list of experienced physicians in your area. Visit edcure.org, brought to you by Boston Scientific, and brought to you by Andy Zubia.
Super chat.
With the super chat, who says, hit the NWO music one time. Let me tell you something about my doppelganger. No, I'm just playing. I'm out of it. I got you, Andy. Now I'm about to go watch some Monday Night Wars, man. I got you, Andy. Appreciate the donation. Appreciate y'all for being here. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed today's show. Tomorrow, we are breaking down Cowboys, Packers. Like I always say, week to week, talk about what it is they do good, what it is they don't do good. Figure out a way we can beat these Packers by the end of the week. I think I want to start off with our offense against their defense. I think I do. Usually it's flipped, but I want to start there, so we will do that. Later tonight, Mo Ride will be back on the channel. A to Z Sports prime time. Make sure y'all get with Mo Ride later. Hit him up as well if you want to read his articles. Excellent writer. A to Z Sports Dallas.com, as well as all of our other excellent writers on the website. And then 3:06-ish, Me and Vosh Lombardi on Vosh Lombardi Live. I don't know what we're going to talk about over there, but we'll figure it out because we always do. We always do. With that said, Cowboys Nation, appreciate y'all joining me on this Tuesday. Hit this button. And I'm going to see y'all later. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Wrench for Swain. What is this hashtag in here? Oh, a moderator. I got you. All right, man. Love y'all. Peace. I've been bullied. It's like, nah, much deserved, Swain. We out here.